Good evening, traveler. We are entering a landscape of misty mountains, dark valleys, and flowing rivers. This is the world of Taoism, an ancient Chinese philosophy that seeks not to build a fortress or tend a garden, but to merge seamlessly with the great natural flow of the universe. Here, the goal is not to control the mind or even to cultivate tranquility. The goal is to let go of control completely, and in that letting go, to find a power and a peace that is beyond understanding. Chapter 1. The Path with No Name. At the heart of Taoism is a concept so vast and profound that it has no true name. It is called the Tao. It means the way or the path. But it is not a path you can find on a map. It is the natural, spontaneous, unfolding order of everything. It is the rhythm of the seasons, the orbit of the stars, the way a tree grows, the way a river flows to the sea. The ancient master of Taoism, Lao Tzu, began his great book, the Tao Te Ching, with a warning for the logical mind. He wrote, "The Tao that can be told is not the eternal Tao. The name that can be named is not the eternal name." This is a philosophy of feeling, not of thinking. It asks us to quiet our clever, analytical minds and instead sense the great, silent intelligence that moves all things. Imagine you are standing at the edge of a vast, dark forest at twilight. You cannot see the paths clearly. You cannot name every tree or every shadow, but you can feel the life of the forest. You can smell the damp earth. You can hear the whisper of the wind in the leaves. You can sense the deep, ancient rhythm of the place. That feeling, that deep, intuitive sense of a living, intelligent whole, is your first step to understanding the Tao. It is not a concept to be grasped, but a presence to be felt. It is all around you, and it is within you. You are a part of it, just as a single wave is a part of the ocean. Chapter 2. The Wisdom of Water. If we cannot name the Tao, how can we learn to follow it? Lao Tzu gives us a perfect teacher from the natural world, water. He said, "The supreme good is like water, which nourishes all things without trying to. It is content with the low places that people disdain. Thus, it is like the Tao." Think about the nature of water. It is soft and yielding. It does not resist. If you strike it, you do not harm it. If you try to grasp it, it slips through your fingers. It adapts its shape to any container. Yet, it is immensely powerful. Over time, the softest water can wear away the hardest stone. This is the principle of Wu Wei. It is often translated as non-action or effortless action. It does not mean being lazy or passive. It means acting in harmony with the natural flow of things, just as water does. It is the art of achieving by yielding, of leading by following. Imagine trying to push a boat against a strong river current. It is exhausting, stressful work. You fight and struggle and make very little progress. This is action against the Tao. Now, imagine turning the boat around. You let the current take you. You use your oar not to fight the river, but to gently steer your course within its powerful flow. The journey becomes effortless, graceful, and swift. This is Wu Wei. So much of our tension comes from trying to push the river. We try to force outcomes, to control people, to make life conform to our rigid plans. The Taoist sage invites you to let go of the oars, to trust the current. This doesn't mean you will be swept away aimlessly. It means you learn to use the river's own power to carry you where you need to go. Feel your own body now. Feel the tension in your muscles, the tendency to hold on, to control. Let it go. Let your body be like water, soft, yielding on flowing peacefully into a state of deep rest. Chapter 3. The Uncarved Block. In this world of flowing water and silent mountains, the Taoist values simplicity above all else. In a world that prizes cleverness, sophistication, and complexity, the sage seeks to return to a state of pure, natural simplicity. This state is called pu, which translates as the uncarved block. Imagine a block of wood, fresh from the forest. It is simple, whole, and natural. It holds within it infinite potential. It could become a table, a chair, a statue, a bowl. But in its uncarved state, it is simply itself, full of its own innate power and nature. Once the block is carved, its potential becomes limited. A chair can only be a chair. It has been given a specific function, a name, a definition. It has lost its original simple wholeness. Lao Tzu saw people as uncarved blocks. In our natural state, we are simple, spontaneous, and authentic. But as we grow, the world begins to carve us. It gives us labels, ambitions, complicated rules, and definitions of who we should be. We become clever, but we lose our wisdom. We become sophisticated, but we lose our authenticity. The practice of Taoism is the practice of returning to the state of the uncarved block. Lao Tzu wrote, "The sage desires to be without desire and does not value goods that are hard to come by. He learns to be unlearned and returns to what the multitude has passed by." It is about unlearning the anxieties, the ambitions, and the needless complexities the world has taught you. It is about letting go of the need to be impressive, the need to be clever, the need to be anything other than what you naturally are. It is the simple joy of a child who is not yet worried about what others think. It is the quiet confidence of the tree that does not compare itself to the other trees in the forest. Find that simple, whole, and natural place within you now, the part of you that exists beneath all the labels, all the roles, all the expectations. It is the quiet, peaceful, and powerful core of your being. Rest in that simplicity. Rest in your own true nature. Chapter 4. The Three Treasures. While the Tao itself is a profound mystery, Lao Tzu gave his followers a simple, practical guide for how to live in harmony with it. He said this was more valuable than any material possession. He wrote, "I have three treasures which I hold and keep. The first is mercy, the second is frugality, the third is daring not to be first in the world." Let's look at these three treasures, these three guiding stars for a peaceful life. The first treasure is compassion, or mercy. A Taoist sage understands that all beings are part of the same whole. To harm another is to harm oneself. To be compassionate is to act in harmony with the interconnectedness of all life. It is the natural expression of a heart that feels its place in the universe. Compassion is the warmth of the sun that shines on all things equally, without judgment. The second treasure is frugality, or simplicity. This is the wisdom of the uncarved block we spoke of. The person who is frugal is not cheap. They are simply free from wanting more than they need. They find joy in simple things and are not burdened by the weight of possessions and the anxiety of maintaining them. A simple life is a light life, one that can float easily on the river of the Tao. The third treasure is humility, which Lao Tzu beautifully describes as daring not to be first in the world. In a world that pushes us to compete, to be the best, to stand out. The Taoist sage finds power in staying behind. Like water, they are content with the low places. By not striving for the spotlight, they avoid the envy, the stress, and the inevitable fall that comes with being at the top. In humility, there is safety, peace, and a quiet, unshakable strength. These three treasures, compassion, simplicity, and humility, are not rules to be followed. They are qualities that naturally arise when we let go of our ego and align ourselves with the gentle, flowing way of the universe. Chapter 5. The usefulness of what is not there. Our minds are taught to value what is solid, what is present, what we can hold and measure. The Taoist sage, however, understands a deeper truth, the profound power and usefulness of emptiness. Lao Tzu uses simple, beautiful examples to teach this lesson. He asks us to consider a clay pot. He says, shape clay into a vessel. It is the space within that makes it useful. A pot is defined by its solid walls, but its purpose, its usefulness, comes from the emptiness inside. It is the void that allows it to hold water, rice, or flowers. He then points to a room in a house. Cut doors and windows for a room. It is the holes which make it useful. The walls and roof give the room its structure, but its purpose as a shelter, a place to live, comes from the empty space they enclose. We live in the emptiness, not in the solid walls. Finally, he speaks of a wheel. 30 spokes share the wheel's hub. It is the center hole that makes it useful. The entire structure of the wheel is built around a central point of nothingness. It is this empty hub that allows the wheel to be placed on an axle and to turn. This is a profound lesson for a mind seeking rest. We so often try to fill our minds with thoughts, plans, and knowledge. We fear emptiness. We fear boredom. But the Tao teaches us that it is in the mental space, the quiet emptiness between our thoughts, that our true usefulness and peace can be found. A mind that is constantly full has no room to receive new wisdom, no space for creativity, no quiet for healing. Allow your mind to become like the empty bowl, the quiet room, the still hub of the wheel. Do not feel the need to fill this moment with thought. In this gentle, peaceful emptiness, your mind finds its true purpose, a state of pure, receptive, and restorative rest. Chapter 6. The Dance of Shadow and Light. In the Taoist view, the universe is in a constant, gentle dance between two opposing but complementary forces, yin and yang. Yin is the feminine, the dark, the soft, the passive, the yielding. It is the night, the moon, the earth, the silence. Yang is the masculine, the light, the hard, the active, the assertive. It is the day, the sun, the sky, the sound. Our world often overvalues yang. It celebrates action, brightness, and constant doing. It can sometimes fear the quiet and stillness of yin. But the Taoist sage understands that one cannot exist without the other. They are not in conflict. They are partners in a cosmic dance. Light only has meaning because of darkness. Sound is only perceived because of the silence that surrounds it. Action is only sustainable because it is balanced by rest. The Tao Te Ching says, all things carry yin and embrace yang. They achieve harmony by combining these forces. Harmony is the key, not the victory of one over the other, but their perfect flowing balance. Nighttime, this time of rest, is the time of yin. It is a necessary and beautiful part of the cycle. To resist sleep, to fear the darkness, is to fight against the natural harmony of the universe. By welcoming this time of quiet and stillness, you are aligning yourself with the Tao. You are allowing the yin energy to restore you, to heal you, and to prepare you for the return of the yang energy of a new day. Feel this gentle balance within you. The activity of your day now gives way to the deep, restorative stillness of the night. Do not fight it. Embrace it as the other half of life. Let the quiet darkness hold you. It is the necessary and sacred partner to the light. Chapter 7. The Butterfly Dream. While Lao Tzu gave us the deep, foundational verses of the Tao, another great sage named Chuang Tzu taught its lessons through whimsical, profound, and often humorous stories. He challenges our very idea of what is real and what is not. One of his most famous stories is a perfect meditation for the edge of sleep. Chuang Tzu tells us, "Once I, Chuang Tzu, dreamt I was a butterfly flitting and fluttering about, happy with himself and doing as he pleased. He didn't know he was Chuang Tzu." Imagine this now. See this butterfly dancing on the warm air, drifting from one flower to another. Feel the lightness of its wings, the simple joy of its existence, with no thought, no worry, just the gentle bliss of being a butterfly. The story continues. Suddenly I woke up, and there I was, solid and unmistakable Chuang Tzu. But I did not know if I was Chuang Tzu, who had dreamt of being a butterfly, or if I was a butterfly, now dreaming he was Chuang Tzu. Let this beautiful question hang in the air. This story is not a riddle to be solved. It is a door to a different kind of awareness. It gently dissolves the hard line we draw between waking and dreaming, between the self and the other. It invites us to see our own identity as something fluid, temporary, and perhaps part of a much larger dream. What if your sense of self, the person you think you are, with all your history and worries, is as temporary as a dream? What if, beneath it all, you are something much more vast, free and joyful, like the fluttering butterfly? This is not a question for the logical mind. It is a feeling for the heart, a release from the tight grip of the ego. It is a gentle permission to let your sense of self soften, blur, and drift into the boundless mystery of the universe, just as one drifts into a dream. Chapter 8. The Empty Boat. Chuang Tzu told another story to teach the art of moving through life without conflict. Imagine you are crossing a river in a boat. Suddenly, another boat collides with yours. If there is a person in that other boat, you will probably shout at them. You will feel anger, frustration. You will blame them for their carelessness. Your peace will be shattered. But Chuang Tzu asks, what if the other boat is empty? If the boat is empty, you will not get angry. You cannot blame an empty boat. You will simply skillfully push it away and continue on your journey. There is no anger, no conflict, no story of blame. It is just an event that happened. He then says, empty your own boat. To empty your boat is to let go of the rigid, demanding ego that is so easily offended, the part of you that takes everything personally, the part that is filled with pride, status, and the need to be right. When your boat is empty, you can navigate the river of life without conflict. An insult comes towards you, but it finds no one there to receive it. It is like an empty boat bumping against you. A difficult person acts out, but you see their boat is full of their own fear and pain. You do not need to let it collide with you. You simply steer around them. A person with an empty boat is free. They are not tossed about by the actions and opinions of others. They are inwardly spacious, flexible, and serene. As you lie here, let your own boat become empty. Let go of the stories of the day, of the frustrations, the sense of being right or wrong. Let it all drift away. Leave only the quiet, spacious emptiness within. In this state, nothing can disturb your peace. You are a quiet vessel, floating peacefully on a calm, dark river. Chapter 9. Trusting the Flow. How does one live this way, with such effortless skill? Is it a matter of careful thought and planning? Chuang Tzu tells one final story about a butcher named Ding who was carving up an ox for his master. His knife moved so gracefully, so rhythmically, it was like a dance. He never seemed to struggle or even think. His master, amazed, asked for his secret. The butcher replied that when he first started, all he could see was the ox, a solid, difficult mass. But after years of practice, he no longer saw the ox as a whole. He saw the spaces within it. He said, "I follow the natural lines, my knife finding the great hollows and openings." He explained that a good cook changes his knife once a year because he cuts. A mediocre cook changes his knife once a month because he hacks. But Ding had used the same knife for 19 years, and it was still as sharp as the day it was made. This is the perfection of Wu Wei. It is moving through life so intuitively that you no longer see the problems, the solid obstacles. You see the spaces in between. You sense the natural grain of a situation, and you flow with it, not against it. Your actions become so perfectly aligned with the Tao that they require no effort, no struggle. This skill is not learned through rigid thinking, but through practice, intuition, and letting go. It is trusting the flow. You do not need to figure out how to fall asleep. Your body already knows. It is an innate wisdom, a natural rhythm. The struggle, the hacking, comes when the thinking mind tries to take over. Trust the skillful butcher within you. Trust the part of you that knows the natural lines of rest. Let go of the effort. Don't focus on the problem of being awake. Simply sense the spaces, the quiet openings, and allow your consciousness to gently, skillfully, and effortlessly glide into the great, peaceful hollow of sleep. Chapter 10. Returning to the river. Our journey through the misty mountains and flowing valleys of Taoism is now complete. We have walked a path with no name, learned the wisdom of water, and felt the peace of the uncarved block. We have held the three treasures of compassion, simplicity, and humility. We have seen the power of emptiness and the harmony of yin and yang. We have dreamt of being a butterfly and learned to empty our own boat for the journey. Unlike the Stoic who builds a fortress, or the Epicurean who tends a garden, the Taoist builds nothing. They learn to dissolve. They let go of the hard, separate self and merge with the great, flowing river of the Tao. They find strength in yielding, wisdom in not knowing, and action in stillness. This is the final lesson for a mind seeking rest. Do not build a wall against the night. Do not try to cultivate sleep. Simply dissolve into it. Let the boundaries of your body soften. Let the edges of your thoughts blur. Let yourself become one with the darkness, one with the silence, one with the gentle rhythmic breath of the universe. You're not a drop fighting the ocean. You are the ocean. Stoicism. This is not a philosophy of cold, unfeeling stone, but of profound, unshakable peace. It is a practical art, crafted by emperors and slaves alike, for finding tranquility not by changing the world outside, but by mastering the world within. Imagine yourself walking along the ramparts of a great, silent fortress. This is your mind. Below, the world continues with its storms and its seasons. But up here, in the high air of your own awareness, you are the sovereign. You are the architect of your own calm. Our guide tonight is Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, who in the midst of war and plague would light a single lamp and write to himself, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Let us walk with him now and learn to build this inner citadel, stone by silent stone. Chapter 1. The Inner Citadel. The Stoics taught that within each of us lies a fortress that no army can breach, no misfortune can crumble. This fortress is the hegemonikon, the ruling faculty of the mind. Its walls are not made of granite, but of judgment. Its gates are not barred by iron, but by perspective. Epictetus, who lived life first as a slave, knew the limits of external power. He once said, "You may chain my lug, but my will, not even Zeus himself can overpower." Picture this citadel now. See its high, calm walls, settled under a sky of deep, endless stars. The winds of the world may press against the stone, but they cannot shake its foundation. The sounds of the distant city, the worries of tomorrow, the echoes of yesterday do not penetrate these walls unless you allow them to. This is your birthright, a place of absolute safety within you. Feel your body resting here now. It is the outer wall of this keep. Let it be heavy, settled, at peace. Now, bring your awareness to the space behind your eyes, the silent observer, the calm commander. This is the heart of the citadel. From here you choose. You choose how to interpret the sounds you hear. You choose how to meet the sensations in your body. You choose to greet this present moment, not with resistance, but with a quiet, steady welcome. Nothing external can harm this place. It is yours, and yours alone. Chapter 2. The Great Divide. The first tool of the Stoic architect is a simple but powerful one. It is a blade of perception that divides the entire universe into two parts, that which is up to us and that which is not up to us. Feel the profound release in this single distinction. The weather tomorrow is not up to us. The opinions of others, not up to us. The flow of the economy, the aging of our bodies, the rising of the sun, not up to us. So much of what we carry, the heavy burdens of anxiety and fear, are tied to these external things. We try to hold the wind in our fists. We try to command the tides. And in the struggle, we lose our peace. The Stoic invites you to gently, lovingly let them go. Picture your worries as boats on a vast ocean. Some are moored to distant shores you cannot see or control. See yourself untying these ropes. Watch them drift. They are not your concern. Their journey is their own. Now, what is left? What is truly up to us? Our thoughts, our judgments, our responses, our acts of will, our kindness, our integrity, our choice to breathe in and breathe out. This is your small sacred garden. Here, you have complete control. You are the master gardener. You decide which seeds to plant: seeds of anger, or seeds of understanding, seeds of fear, or seeds of courage. Seneca, a great statesman and advisor, reminded himself, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality." By focusing only on our own garden, our inner citadel, we find we have all the work we need and all the peace we could ever hope for. Let the rest of the world be. It is not your burden to carry. Feel a sense of lightness begin to spread through your shoulders, your chest, the lightness of setting down a weight you were never meant to hold. Chapter 3. Welcoming Fate. Once we have separated what we can control from what we cannot, the Stoic takes another profound step. They learn not just to tolerate what is outside their control, but to welcome it, to love it. This is the practice of amor fati, a love of one's fate. It is not a passive resignation. It is an active, joyful embrace of reality as it is. It is the wisdom to see that the fabric of life is woven from all threads, light and dark, smooth and coarse. To pull at one thread is to unravel the whole. Marcus Aurelius would put it this way: "A blazing fire makes flame and brightness out of everything that is thrown into it." Imagine your life as this fire. It is strong, bright, and warm. Events come to you, some expected, some unexpected, some you would call good, some you would call bad. The untrained mind resists. It tries to accept only the dry, easy kindling and complains when a wet, smoky log is thrown on. It sputters and struggles. The Stoic mind, the mind of amor fati, does not distinguish. It sees every event, every circumstance, every person it meets as fuel. Fuel to grow stronger. Fuel to burn brighter. Fuel to create more warmth and light. The delay in your travel becomes an opportunity for patience. An unexpected criticism becomes a lesson in humility. A loss becomes a chance to appreciate what remains. Nothing is a setback. Everything is a way forward. Do not seek for things to happen the way you want them to, taught Epictetus. Rather, wish for things to happen the way they do happen, and your life will go smoothly. There is an incredible peace in this acceptance. The war against reality ceases. You are no longer struggling against the current of a great river. You are flowing with it, trusting its course, knowing it is carrying you exactly where you need to go. Let yourself float on that river now. The water is cool and supportive. You do not need to fight it. Simply allow it to carry you onward into deeper and deeper states of calm. Chapter 4. The View from Above. Now, we shall try a different kind of exercise, a practice of perspective. The Stoics called it the view from above, a way to quiet personal anxieties by seeing them as part of a much larger whole. Allow your awareness to become light. Imagine it as a single, soft point of light, gently lifting from where your body rests. Feel it float upward, slowly, peacefully. You rise above the room, seeing the space below you grow smaller. You drift higher, through the roof, into the cool night air. Below you now is the building, then the street, then the entire neighborhood, a patchwork of sleeping houses and quiet gardens. Keep rising. The town or city shrinks to a cluster of lights against the dark earth. You see the shapes of hills and rivers, the dark expanse of forests and fields. All the noise, all the frantic energy of the day is gone. There is only a great, silent map below you. Higher still, you see the curve of the earth now, a beautiful blue and white marble hanging in the silent velvet black of space. You see continents, vast oceans, swirling patterns of cloud. From this immense height, where is the room you were in? Where is the street? Where are the problems you held so tightly just a short while ago? They are not gone, but from here you can see their true size. They are a single point of dust on a vast canvas, a single ripple in an endless ocean. Marcus Aurelius practiced this to remind himself of his own smallness and the smallness of his imperial troubles. He wrote, "Think of the substance of all things, of which you have a very small part, and of the passage of all time, of which a short and fleeting moment has been assigned to you, and of the works of destiny, of which you are how small a part." Hold this cosmic perspective for a moment. Feel the peace of this vastness. Your personal worries, seen from this great height, lose their sharp edges. They become part of the immense, unfolding pattern of the universe. Now, just as gently, allow your awareness to float back down, down through the clouds, over the land, back towards the cluster of lights, the quiet neighborhood, the roof of the house, and back into the room. You return to your body, but you bring the peace of that vastness back with you. You are here, in this room, but you hold the memory of the stars within you. Chapter 5. Gratitude for the Present. There is a strange and beautiful Stoic practice for cultivating gratitude. It does not ask you to count your blessings, but to briefly, gently imagine their absence. Not to create fear, but to sharpen your appreciation for what is here, right now. When you imagine a cup is already broken, every sip from it tastes sweeter. Let us try it very gently. Picture a simple pleasure you enjoy. Perhaps the warmth of the blanket covering you, the softness of the pillow beneath your head. Now, for just a moment, imagine it is gone. Imagine the coolness of the air, the hardness of the surface, a brief, fleeting sense of lack, and then bring it back. Feel the warmth return. Feel the softness cradle you once more. Notice how that simple comfort now feels like a gift, how its presence is more vivid, more real. This is not about dwelling on loss. It is about using the shadow of loss to better see the light. Seneca suggested we do this with the people we love, not to live in fear of their passing, but to cherish their presence more fully today. To say the words we mean to say, to offer the kindness we mean to offer. By acknowledging that everything in our lives is temporary, a loan from fortune, we stop taking it for granted. We begin to treat each day, each conversation, each simple comfort as the precious gift it is. Gratitude, the Stoics teach, is not born from abundance. It is born from awareness. The awareness of the constant, gentle dance between presence and absence, having and letting go. Feel a quiet wave of appreciation for the simple fact of your own breath, in and out, a rhythm that asks for nothing, but gives you everything, each one, a quiet gift. Chapter 6. A single living being. It is a common mistake to see the Stoic as a cold, isolated statue, a fortress standing alone. But the final step in building the citadel is to build a bridge from its walls to the world. The Stoics believed in sympatheia, the idea that all things are interconnected, woven together as threads in a single magnificent tapestry. They saw the universe not as a collection of dead rocks and random events, but as one single living organism. And we are a part of it, not separate from it. Marcus Aurelius wrote beautifully on this. What is not good for the hive is not good for the bee. Feel that connection now. Feel the air you breathe, which has traveled across oceans and forests to reach you. It has been breathed by countless others before you, in a timeless chain of life. Think of the hands that built the room you are in, the farmers who grew the food you ate, the countless unseen efforts of others that support your existence in this very moment. You are not alone. You are part of a vast, intricate web of mutual support. To wish well for this whole, for this hive, is to wish well for yourself. To feel anger or resentment towards a part of it is to injure your own soul. This idea brings with it a profound sense of responsibility and peace. It simplifies our purpose. Our purpose is to play our part well, to be a good thread in the tapestry, a healthy cell in the body of the universe. When you act with kindness, you are not just being kind to one person. You are adding to the health of the entire system. When you act with integrity, you strengthen the fabric of the whole world. Let your sense of self expand beyond the edges of your skin. Feel yourself as part of this room, this city, this planet, this silent, breathing cosmos. There is no us and them. There is only one interconnected whole, breathing together in the quiet of the night. Chapter 7. Rehearsing Your Day. The Stoics did not like to be surprised. They believed that surprise and shock were the enemies of tranquility. So they practiced an exercise of quiet rehearsal. Each morning before the day began, or each evening as we are doing now for the day to come, they would walk through it in their minds. They called this premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of what could go wrong. This sounds like an invitation to anxiety, but it is the opposite. It is a vaccine against it. Let's try this gently for the day that awaits you tomorrow. Picture the morning light. See yourself rising, and imagine the small frictions that might occur. The traffic might be slow. An email you receive might be curt or demanding. A plan you have might be delayed. See these things not as disasters, but as expected guests. You have already met them here, in the quiet of your mind. Now, rehearse your response, not the event itself, but your chosen reaction to it. See the slow traffic, not with a clenched jaw, but with a patient breath. An opportunity to listen to the sound of the rain, or to simply be. See the curt email not as a personal attack, but as the product of someone else's own difficult day. See yourself responding with clarity and calm, not with anger. See the delayed plan, not as a frustration, but as a change in the river's course, an opportunity to practice flexibility. When you have already met your challenges in your mind and practiced meeting them with virtue, their power over you vanishes. When they arrive in reality, you greet them with a sense of calm déjà vu. Ah, yes, you can say to yourself, I was expecting you. This is not pessimism. It is preparation. The archer does not hope the wind will be still. He practices shooting in the wind, so that he is ready for the reality of the day. Your mind is now prepared. It is ready for whatever comes, able to meet it with grace, patience, and peace. Chapter 8. The obstacle is the way. What happens when we meet an obstacle we did not foresee? What about the difficult people? The frustrating situations that arise unexpectedly? Here, the Stoic performs a powerful mental shift, an act of inner alchemy. They do not see the obstacle as blocking the path. They see the obstacle as the path. Marcus Aurelius gave himself this powerful reminder. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Imagine you are walking along a smooth, clear path through a forest. Suddenly, a large fallen tree blocks your way. The untrained mind becomes angry, frustrated. It complains about the tree. It sees its journey as ruined. It may even give up and turn back. The Stoic mind, however, sees the tree with different eyes. The path is not blocked. The path is the tree. The challenge now becomes, how do I navigate this? Do I climb over it? Do I find a way around it? Do I rest on it for a moment and appreciate the unexpected view it gives me? The tree is no longer a problem. It is an opportunity to practice strength, or creativity, or patience. Think of a challenge you are facing in your life, a difficult project, a strained relationship, a personal limitation. See it not as a wall blocking your progress, but as the very thing that will teach you what you need to learn. The obstacle itself holds the key to your growth. The rudeness of another person is a chance to practice your own compassion and self-control. A complex task at work is a chance to build your focus and skill. Your own fatigue is a chance to practice gentleness and self-care. With this mindset, nothing can truly stand in your way, because everything that happens, wanted or unwanted, becomes part of your way forward. You become unstoppable, not because you never face difficulty, but because you use every difficulty as a stepping stone. Chapter 9. The richness of simplicity. In a world that constantly tells us we need more to be happy, the Stoics practiced the opposite. They practiced subtraction. Seneca, one of the wealthiest men in Rome, would regularly set aside a few days to practice poverty. He would wear his roughest clothes, eat the plainest food, and sleep on the hard floor. He did this not to punish himself, but to liberate himself. After a few days of this voluntary discomfort, he would ask himself, "Is this what I was so afraid of?" He discovered that not only was it bearable, but there was a deep contentment to be found in it. He realized how few things were truly necessary for a peaceful mind. We can practice this in a gentler way, here and now. There is no need for rags or coarse bread, but we can notice the layers of complexity we add to our lives. The endless search for more entertainment, more possessions, more stimulation, and we can choose, just for a moment, to let them go. Feel the simple, profound richness of having nothing more than this breath, this quiet moment, the feeling of your body at rest. Notice the peace that arises when the wanting mind grows still. Contentment is not found in getting what you want. It is found in wanting what you have. And what do you have right now? You have the air in your lungs. You have this moment in time. You have a mind that can choose to be at peace. This is true wealth. This is the treasure that no one can ever take from you. It requires nothing to be bought, nothing to be achieved. It only asks to be noticed. Let yourself sink into this profound simplicity, the simple richness of just being, free from striving, free from needing. You have everything you need, right here, right now. Chapter 10. The Evening Review. As the day comes to a close, the Stoic philosopher performs one last essential duty, not a chore, but an act of gentle housekeeping for the soul. They open the day's ledger and review it with a kind, non-judgmental eye. This is the evening examination, a practice recommended by Seneca, Epictetus, and others as a way to ensure constant, gentle progress. Lying here now, on the edge of sleep, you can do the same. Let the events of your day drift through your mind like soft clouds, without any need to cling to them. And ask yourself 3 simple questions. First, what did I do well today? Recall a moment, however small, where you acted with kindness, patience, or courage. A held door, a patient breath in a moment of frustration, a task completed with focus, a kind thought toward another. Acknowledge it without ego. Simply see it. This is the virtue you are cultivating. Second, what could I have done better? Again, this is not a moment for shame or self-criticism. That is not the Stoic way. It is the gentle, objective review of a craftsman looking at his work. See a moment where you were impatient or distracted or spoke a sharp word. See it clearly without blame. Think of it as a pilot noting a small course deviation. You simply note it, so that tomorrow you can adjust your course with greater skill. And third, what duties were left undone? Perhaps there was a call you meant to make, or a task you avoided. Again, see this without a heavy heart. Simply acknowledge it so that it may be addressed in the light of a new day, if it is still worthy of your attention. By performing this gentle review, you clear the accounts of the day. You learn from your mistakes without dwelling on them. You celebrate your small victories without becoming arrogant. You close the ledger. The day is complete. It is done. You can now release it fully and allow your mind to be clear, peaceful, and ready for rest. Chapter 11. The Preciousness of Time. The Stoics kept a powerful reminder close at hand, sometimes even a skull on their desk. This was memento mori. Remember, you will die. To our modern ears, this sounds morbid, but to the Stoic, it was a profound key to happiness. It was not about dwelling on death, but about using the reality of death to infuse life with meaning and urgency. Life is short. Time is our most precious, non-renewable resource. Why waste a single moment of it on trivial anxieties, on pointless anger, on things that do not matter? Marcus Aurelius whispered to himself, "Do not act as if you were going to live 10,000 years. Death hangs over you. While you live, while it is in your power, be good." Thinking of life's finite nature clarifies our purpose. It sweeps away the unimportant and leaves only what is essential. Is it essential to win this argument? Is it essential to nurse this grudge? Is it essential to worry about what others think? Or is it more essential to be kind, to be useful, to love, to learn, and to appreciate this single fleeting moment you have right now? Imagine your life as a candle, its flame dancing brightly. Each moment spent in anger or worry is like a strong wind that makes the candle sputter and waste its wax. Each moment spent in peace and virtue allows the flame to burn steadily, brightly, casting a beautiful, warm light. You do not need to do anything dramatic with this knowledge. Simply feel the preciousness of this moment of rest, this breath, this heartbeat. It is a gift, a finite, beautiful gift. Let this awareness bring not sadness, but a quiet, profound joy. A joy for being here, now, with the ability to choose peace. Chapter 12. The Citadel at Peace. And so, our walk along the ramparts of the inner citadel comes to a close. The lessons of the Stoics are now built into its very stones. You have learned to divide the world into what is yours and what is not. You have learned to welcome fate as fuel for your inner fire. You have seen your troubles from the perspective of the stars and learned to find gratitude in the simple presence of a single comfort. You have felt your connection to the great web of humanity and rehearsed your calm response to the challenges of a new day. You have learned that the obstacle is the path, that true wealth is simplicity, and that the day can be closed with a gentle, honest review. Your fortress is complete. It is strong, quiet, and serene. The winds of the world can blow. The storms of fortune can rage. But here, within the walls of your own mind, you are sovereign. You are safe. You are at peace. The gates are now closed for the night. The sentries are at their posts, watchful and calm. The only sound is the gentle, distant hush of the sea. Let your body sink deeper into rest, knowing it is protected by this unshakable fortress of the mind. Let your thoughts settle like dust in a quiet room. We are approaching a walled garden, hidden from the noise and ambitions of the city. This is the garden of Epicurus. It is not a place of grand statues or elaborate fountains. It is a simple, beautiful space, filled with friends, quiet conversation, and the scent of herbs and flowers. This is the heart of a new kind of wisdom, one based not on enduring hardship, but on the gentle cultivation of tranquility. Welcome to the world of Epicureanism. Chapter 1. The Sanctuary of Friendship. Epicurus was a philosopher in ancient Athens who taught something radical. He taught that the goal of life was pleasure. This single word has caused much confusion over the centuries. When we hear pleasure, we might think of wild feasts, endless luxury, and a frantic search for excitement. But this is the very opposite of what Epicurus meant. His school, which he simply called the garden, was a sanctuary. It was a retreat from the world of politics, fame, and wealth that he saw as the primary sources of human anxiety. He invited friends, women, and even slaves to join him, creating a small community built on trust and affection. For Epicurus, the greatest pleasures were not loud, but quiet. They were not expensive, but free. The pleasure of a deep friendship, the pleasure of a simple meal, eaten without hurry, the pleasure of feeling safe and understood. So let us enter this garden not as thrill-seekers, but as gardeners of the soul. Here, we will learn to cultivate the gentle, lasting joy that Epicurus believed was our birthright. Chapter 2. The Calm Sea. The highest form of pleasure for Epicurus had a special name, ataraxia. It means tranquility, a state of mind like a calm sea, free from waves of disturbance. It's not the giddy high of a momentary thrill, which is often followed by a crash. It is a deep, stable, and peaceful contentment. Imagine two kinds of pleasure. One is like a firework, exploding in a brilliant, beautiful, but brief flash of light, leaving the sky darker than before. This is the pleasure of intense excitement, of getting something you desperately wanted. It is powerful, but it does not last. The other kind of pleasure is like the steady, gentle light of the stars. It is always there, calm and constant. It doesn't shout for your attention. It simply is. It is the peace you feel when you are free from fear, free from pain, and free from wanting. This starry, constant light is ataraxia. Epicurus taught that the path to happiness was not about adding more and more fireworks. It was about clearing away the clouds so that you could see the stars that are already there. The clouds are our anxieties, our needless desires, our fear of things we cannot control. The rest of our time in this garden will be spent learning how to gently blow these clouds away, revealing the calm, clear sky of the mind that is always waiting for you. Chapter 3. The Three Fountains. To clear the clouds, Epicurus gave his students a simple tool, an understanding of their own desires. He said that all our wants and needs flow from three different fountains. Understanding which fountain to drink from is the key to peace. The first fountain provides desires that are both natural and necessary. These are the simple needs of the body and soul. The need for food when you are hungry, water when you are thirsty, shelter and warmth, and, crucially, the need for friendship and connection. These desires are easy to satisfy, and satisfying them brings great pleasure and removes pain. A sip of cool water, a simple piece of bread, a quiet conversation with a friend. These are the foundations of a happy life. Epicurus said, we should always attend to these. They are the clear, life-giving water. The second fountain gives us desires that are natural, but not necessary. This is the water that has been sweetened and flavored. You need food, but you do not need a lavish banquet. You need shelter, but you do not need a palace. These are natural extensions of our needs, but they bring with them the risk of anxiety. The banquet can make you sick. The palace brings the worry of maintaining it. These desires are not bad, but they must be treated with caution. They promise more pleasure than the simple water, but often the pleasure is fleeting, and the cost is a troubled mind. The wise person enjoys these things if they come easily, but never bases their happiness on them. The third fountain is poisoned. It provides desires that are neither natural nor necessary. These are the desires imposed on us by the outside world. The desire for fame, for immense wealth, for political power. Epicurus called these empty desires because they can never truly be filled. The person who wants fame will always want more. The person who wants wealth will always fear losing it. These desires are like trying to quench a thirst by drinking salt water. They only make the thirst worse. The path to tranquility, he taught, is to drink deeply from the first fountain, sip cautiously from the second, and learn to turn away from the third fountain completely. Feel your own desires now. Notice how many of them are simple and easy. The desire for comfortable rest, the desire for peace and quiet. These are the natural and necessary desires of this moment. By simply allowing them to be met, you are practicing the very heart of this gentle philosophy. Chapter 4. The Greatest Treasure. As we walk deeper into this peaceful sanctuary, we notice that the garden is not empty. There are others here, sitting in small groups, talking quietly, smiling. This is not a garden of solitude, but of community. For Epicurus, the desire for friendship was not just a pleasant luxury. It was the most important of all the natural and necessary desires. It was the cornerstone of a happy life. He once wrote that, of all the things wisdom provides for a lifetime of happiness, much the greatest is the possession of friendship. Think of the anxieties of the world outside this garden. The need to impress strangers, the competition for status, the fear of judgment. These things create tension and unease in the soul. Friendship is the antidote. With a true friend, there is no need to perform. You can be yourself, completely. There is a safety in being known and accepted. Friendship provides a wall of security against the harshness of the world. It is a shared shelter. Epicurus believed that a wise person would value the peace and security of one true friendship far more than the roaring applause of a crowd. The applause is fickle and fades, but the quiet understanding of a friend is a lasting treasure. He would say that a simple meal of bread and cheese shared with a friend is more pleasurable than the most elaborate banquet eaten alone or among rivals. Let yourself feel the warmth of that idea, the simple, profound, and peaceful pleasure of connection. It asks for nothing but sincerity. It costs nothing but time and affection. In this garden, happiness is not a solitary pursuit. It is a shared warmth, a quiet circle of trust in a noisy and uncertain world. Chapter 5. The Quiet Harbor. We have spoken of ataraxia, the untroubled mind. Epicurus also spoke of its physical counterpart, aponia, the absence of bodily pain. Together, the tranquil mind and the comfortable body create the ultimate state of pleasure. It is not a peak of excitement, but a safe and quiet harbor where your ship can rest. This is perhaps the most misunderstood idea in his philosophy. Epicurus gives us a beautifully simple way to understand it. He wrote, "The magnitude of pleasure reaches its limit in the removal of all pain." Imagine you are intensely thirsty. Your throat is dry, and all you can think about is water. This is a state of pain, of lack. Then you take a long, deep drink of cool, clear water. The pleasure you feel is immense. But what is this pleasure really? It is the removal of the pain of thirst. Once your thirst is gone, drinking more and more water does not keep increasing the pleasure. You can vary the pleasure, perhaps with flavored water, the second fountain we spoke of, but you cannot make it more intense. The peak was reached the moment the pain of thirst disappeared. This is the quiet harbor, a state where you are not hungry, not thirsty, not cold, and not afraid. This simple, neutral state of non-pain is the highest pleasure there is. Everything else is just variation, like adding flavors to the water. Nice, perhaps, but not necessary. The modern world constantly tries to sell us new flavors. It convinces us that our plain water is not enough. It creates new thirsts, new anxieties, new feelings of lack, so that it can sell us a temporary cure. The Epicurean path is to realize that you do not need the flavored water. True, lasting pleasure is found in learning to be content with the clear, simple water that quenches the thirst and brings you back to that peaceful, neutral state. Let your body feel this now. Notice any points of tension, of discomfort. Let them soften. Let go of the striving for more. Simply enjoy the profound pleasure of this moment, free from pain, free from need. This is the harbor. This is the peace. Chapter 6. Death is nothing to us. There is one great cloud that Epicurus saw, looming over humanity, blocking the starry light of tranquility. It is the deepest fear for many, the fear of death. People worried about what would happen to them after they died. They feared the judgment of the gods and eternal punishment. This fear, Epicurus argued, poisoned the pleasure of life. He looked at this fear with his calm, gentle logic and offered one of the most famous arguments in all of philosophy as a cure. He said simply, "Death is nothing to us. For when we are, death has not come, and when death has come, we are not." Let that thought settle. It is a profound release. He asked us to consider that all good and bad exist in sensation, in our ability to feel. A thing can only be bad for you if you can experience it. But when you are dead, you have no sensation. You cannot feel sadness or pain or loss. You do not exist to experience anything at all. Therefore, death cannot be a bad experience for you. You existed before you were born, in a state of non-existence. Was it painful? Was it frightening? Number it was nothing. Epicurus suggests that death is simply a return to that same state of nothingness. To fear death is to fear a state in which you are incapable of feeling fear. It is a needless anxiety that steals the joy from the one thing we do have, life. He would tell his friends, accustom yourself to believing that death is nothing to us. By removing this great fear, this dark cloud, life becomes lighter. We are free to enjoy the present moment without the shadow of a future that we will never experience. The goal is not to be reckless, but to be fearless, to live this life, this precious time of sensation and friendship and simple joys, fully and without the burden of a misplaced terror. See that great cloud of fear and watch it now as it gently, peacefully dissolves into nothing, leaving behind only the calm, clear, starry sky of the present moment. Chapter 7. The Hidden Path. In the world outside this garden, so much energy is spent on being seen. People strive for fame, recognition, and public office. They want their names to be known and their influence to be felt. Epicurus looked at this frantic race for attention and saw it as a source of immense anxiety. The person who lives in the public eye is constantly open to criticism, envy, and the stress of maintaining their reputation. Their peace is fragile, dependent on the ever-changing opinions of the crowd. He offered a simple, radical, and deeply calming alternative. 2 words that formed a cornerstone of his practical advice: Loth bioses, live unnoticed. Imagine the peace in that simple command. It is a quiet call to step off the stage, to let go of the need for an audience, to find your happiness not in the applause of others, but in the quiet contentment of your own life. Living unnoticed does not mean being a hermit. We are here in the garden, surrounded by friends, but it means choosing a life of privacy and peace over a life of public ambition. It is the freedom of not having to check what others are saying about you, the freedom of pursuing your own simple interests without needing to turn them into a brand or a performance. It is the joy of a quiet walk, a private conversation, a hobby enjoyed for its own sake. Epicurus believed that a life hidden from the public eye was a safer and more pleasant life. He wrote, "The man who has best ordered the element of quiet confidence in his own future has made friends with the friends he can make, and has not made friends with the unfriendlyable." He sought security in a small, trusted circle, not in widespread fame. Think of it like choosing a small, hidden path through the woods instead of the wide, dusty main road. The main road is crowded, noisy, and competitive. The hidden path is quiet, peaceful, and yours alone, to walk with your chosen companions. It leads not to a grand monument, but to a serene and quiet clearing. Let yourself feel the appeal of that hidden path, the release of pressure that comes from letting go of the need to be seen, and instead, simply choosing to be. Chapter 8. The Art of Choosing. We have seen that for Epicurus, pleasure is the goal. But how do we choose which pleasures to pursue? How do we avoid the traps of fleeting excitement that lead to future pain? The answer lies in what he considered the highest of all virtues, phronesis, or practical wisdom. Prudence. Wisdom is the master gardener of the soul. It is the art of choosing. It looks at a potential pleasure and does not just see the immediate gratification. It looks into the future to see its consequences. A wise person might see a lavish feast. It promises immediate pleasure. But wisdom asks, what comes after? A heavy stomach? A restless night? A feeling of regret? If so, the pleasure is not worth the price. A wise person sees the chance for a quiet evening with a friend. The immediate pleasure might seem less intense than the feast, but wisdom sees the consequences, a feeling of connection, a peaceful mind, a restful night. This pleasure is deep and lasting. Epicurus connected living well and living pleasantly so deeply that he believed they were two sides of the same coin. He wrote a powerful summary of this idea. It is impossible to live a pleasant life without living wisely and well and justly, and it is impossible to live wisely and well and justly without living a pleasant life. To be wise is to choose the path of long-term tranquility over short-term thrills. To be just and good to others is essential, because an unjust life is filled with fear of being discovered, which destroys tranquility. Wisdom is not a complex, abstract science. It is a gentle, practical skill. It is the quiet voice within that asks, will this action lead to a calm sea or to a stormy one? Listen for that voice now. It is the part of you that naturally seeks peace, the part that knows that the simplest choice is often the wisest. Trust that voice. It is your inner guide, the gardener who knows which seeds will grow into strong, peaceful trees and which will grow into thorny weeds. Chapter 9. Leaving the garden. Our time in this hidden sanctuary is drawing to a close. The gentle, synthetic tones in the air seem to soften, and the light from the stars grows deeper. We have walked the quiet paths and learned the gentle wisdom of Epicurus. We have learned to see pleasure not as a frantic chase, but as a calm harbor of peace. We have learned to value the simple, necessary things, a friend, a sense of safety, a mind free from fear. We have learned to distinguish the desires that nourish us from those that poison us. We have faced the great fears of death and the judgment of the unknown, and found them to be powerless shadows. We have learned the quiet joy of living unnoticed, and the profound wisdom of choosing the calm and lasting path. As we prepare to leave, we see Epicurus one last time. He is not a stern teacher, but a kind doctor of the soul. He offers one last piece of advice, a summary of his life's work. He says, vain is the word of a philosopher, which does not heal any suffering of man. His philosophy was never meant to be a mere intellectual game. It was meant to be medicine, a balm for the anxious heart, a cure for the fever of endless wanting. Feel that medicine working in you now, a sense of calm, a release from striving, an appreciation for the simple fact of your own peaceful existence in this moment. You do not need to take anything with you from this garden. The seeds of its wisdom are already planted within you. The memory of its peace is now a part of your own inner landscape. The path leads us away now, back into the quiet of your own mind. The garden gate closes softly behind us, but its tranquility remains. You carry the harbor within you. The starry sky is your own. You are now floating peacefully on an endless ocean, under a sky filled with cold, distant stars. The universe is immense and silent. It does not offer you a map. It does not whisper a purpose in your ear. This vast silence is not a reason for fear. It is the beginning of a new kind of freedom. Welcome to the world of existentialism. Chapter 1. The Freedom of the Silent Sea. The philosophies we have explored so far have offered us a path. The Stoics gave us a fortress to build, the Epicureans a garden to tend, the Taoists a river to follow, the Zen masters a mountain of stillness to become. Existentialism begins in a place without a pre-made path. It asks us to look honestly at the human condition. We are here, in this vast, silent universe, without a clear, given purpose. The sky does not tell us why we are here. The stars do not give us our meaning. For some, this thought is a source of dread. But for the existentialist, it is the ultimate liberation. If no meaning is given to us, then we are free to create our own. We are not actors in a play, written by someone else. We are the authors of our own story. The French philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre, a key figure in this tradition, said that we are condemned to be free. Condemned because we cannot escape the responsibility of choosing our own path. Free because no one else can choose it for us. This is not a heavy burden, but a quiet, profound power. It is the power to decide, in this moment, what matters. It is the freedom to define your own peace, your own virtue, your own purpose. Float on this silent sea. There is no current to fight, no destination you are supposed to reach. There is only the vast, open space of your own consciousness and the freedom to choose your direction. Chapter 2. The Unwritten Book. One of the most fundamental ideas of existentialism is captured in a simple phrase by Sartre. Existence precedes essence. This simply means that you are born into the world first, and then you define what you are later. You exist before you have an essence. Think of it this way. If someone designs a paper knife, they first have an idea in their mind, the essence of the knife, its purpose. Then they create the knife. For a paper knife, its essence comes before its existence. But for a human being, the existentialist says, it is the other way around. We are not created with a predefined purpose. We arrive here, first, as a conscious, existing being. There is no blueprint for what we are supposed to be. Sartre puts it this way: man is nothing else but what he makes of himself. Such is the first principle of existentialism. Imagine that, at the moment of your birth, you were handed a beautiful, empty book. The pages are blank. The title is your name. There is no story written for you. No one can write it for you. You and you alone are the author. Every choice you make, every value you hold, every act of kindness you perform, every moment of peace you cultivate, these are the sentences you are writing in your book. You are creating your own essence, word by word, day by day. This is a quiet, creative power. You are not defined by your past. You are not defined by what others say you are. You are defined in this very moment by the choices you make. The choice right now is to rest, to be at peace. By making this choice, you are writing a chapter in your book about tranquility. You are defining yourself as a person who values stillness. You are the author of your own calm. Chapter 3. The Happy Rebel. If the universe is silent, and we must create our own meaning, does that not make our struggle absurd? We long for purpose, but the cosmos offers none. The philosopher Albert Camus looked this absurd reality directly in the face. He saw the tension between our human desire for meaning and the universe's silent indifference. But he did not find despair there. He found a strange and beautiful form of rebellion. He tells the ancient Greek myth of Sisyphus. Sisyphus was a king condemned by the gods for eternity to push a massive boulder up a hill, only to watch it roll back down every time he neared the top. This is the ultimate image of a meaningless, repetitive struggle. We can see our own lives in this story. We work, we strive, we repeat our daily tasks, only for it all to end. What is the point? Camus invites us to look closer at Sisyphus. He notes that as Sisyphus walks back down the hill to retrieve his boulder, he's conscious. He is aware of his fate. In that moment of awareness, he's greater than the rock. He's master of his own suffering. He can choose his attitude towards his task. He can push the rock with bitterness and despair, or he can push it with a quiet scorn for the gods who condemned him. He can find his purpose not in reaching the top, but in the struggle itself, in the strength of his own muscles, the beauty of the landscape, the clarity of his own rebellious mind. Camus ends his essay with a stunning conclusion. The struggle itself toward the heights is enough to fill a man's heart. One must imagine Sisyphus happy. This is the happiness of the absurd hero. It is the peace you find when you stop demanding that life give you a meaning, and instead, you choose to create meaning in whatever life gives you. You find your purpose not in some grand future goal, but in the dignity of your own present moment, in the simple, repeated act of breathing, in the quiet rebellion of choosing peace in a chaotic world. You are Sisyphus. This moment of rest is your moment of conscious rebellion against the noise of the day, and in this stillness, you can find your happiness. Chapter 4. The Quiet Weight of Choice. To be truly free is a profound and sometimes staggering thought. Every path is open. Every moment is a crossroad. This, the existentialists teach, gives a quiet weight to our lives. Every choice, no matter how small, matters, because in making it, we are not only shaping our day, we are shaping our very selves. The philosopher Simone de Beauvoir, a lifelong partner to Sartre, expanded on this by saying that to be free is not just about doing what you want, but about actively creating a world where others can be free as well. Our choices ripple outwards. But for now, let us focus on the inner world. Think of yourself as the captain of a silent ship on this vast ocean. You are at the helm. You can steer in any direction. This responsibility is not a frantic, stressful burden. It is a quiet, steady dignity. It means that your actions are significant. They are not meaningless gestures in a void. They are the deliberate strokes of the rudder that guide your journey. Sartre would say, "We are our choices." We are not the sum of our desires or our talents. We are the sum of our actions. This can be incredibly empowering. It means you are not defined by your fleeting feelings of anxiety or sadness. You are defined by your choice, in this moment, to seek peace. You are not defined by a past mistake. You are defined by your present choice to learn from it and act with integrity now. Feel the quiet dignity of this power. The power to choose calm over chaos. The power to choose gentleness over harshness. The power to choose rest. Each of these choices is a declaration of your values. It is a statement about who you are choosing to become. On this vast, open sea, your choices are the only thing that truly chart your course. Chapter 5. The True North of Authenticity. If we are the authors of our own story, then the greatest virtue is to write it honestly. This is the existential idea of authenticity. To be authentic is to live in a way that is true to the self you are creating. It is to align your actions with your freely chosen values. The opposite of this is what Sartre called bad faith. Bad faith is the act of pretending you are not free. It is the little lie we tell ourselves when we say, "I have no choice." We say, "I have to go to this job," or "I have to act this way around these people." By saying "I have to," we pretend we are an object, a thing without freedom, like a stone that is simply pushed around by external forces. We do this because it feels easier. It absolves us of the quiet weight of responsibility. But this feeling of ease comes at a great price. It makes us feel like victims of circumstance. It creates a deep inner friction, a sense of being untrue to ourselves. Authenticity is the gentle but firm act of reclaiming your freedom in every moment. It is shifting your inner language from "I have to" "I am choosing to." I am choosing to do this work for now. I am choosing to be polite to this person. Even this small shift in language brings your power back to you. It reminds you that you are the captain of the ship, even when the seas are rough or the direction is not your ideal. To be authentic is to have a quiet inner compass. Your values are your true north. When your actions align with that compass, you feel a deep sense of integrity and peace, regardless of what is happening externally. You have chosen to rest now. This is an authentic act. It is an alignment with a value you hold, the value of peace, of self-care, of stillness. There is a deep rightness in this, a simple, profound feeling of being true to the self you are creating. Chapter 6. Freedom from the gaze. In our daily lives, we are almost constantly aware of being seen by others. This awareness, which Sartre called the gaze, can be a source of great pressure. When we feel we are being watched, we can become self-conscious. We start to see ourselves as an object in someone else's world. We worry about how we appear, what they are thinking, whether we are being judged. We can lose our sense of inner freedom and spontaneity. But here, now, in the quiet of this moment, you are free from the gaze. Imagine yourself on the deck of your ship, in the middle of this vast, dark ocean. There is no one here to watch you. There is no one to judge you. No one is expecting anything from you. Your identity is not being created by someone else's perception of you. You can let all those masks fall away. The mask of the professional, the parent, the friend, the child, all the roles you play. They can be set down just for a while. Here, you are not an object in anyone else's world. You are purely the subject of your own. You exist for yourself, in yourself. Feel the profound release in this, the freedom to just be, without performance. The body can relax completely when it doesn't feel watched. The mind can grow quiet when it isn't trying to manage impressions. This is a sacred space of solitude, not loneliness, but a peaceful, chosen aloneness. A return to your own center. Here, you are not an image to be perceived. You are an existence to be felt from the inside. And that feeling right now is one of growing calm, deepening peace, and a quiet, solitary freedom. Chapter 7. Creating Your Own Star. We are afloat on a vast, silent sea. We have no map given to us from the heavens. How then do we navigate? How do we choose a direction? The existentialist answer is as beautiful as it is powerful. If the sky is dark, you must create your own stars. Your values are these stars. Values like compassion, integrity, courage, love, or peace are not objects you discover outside of yourself. They are lights that you choose to ignite within. They are the points of light you commit to, the constellations by which you guide your ship. Someone who chooses compassion as a guiding star will steer their life differently from someone who chooses ambition. Someone who navigates by the light of peace will make different daily choices from someone who navigates by excitement. There is no cosmic judgment on which stars you should choose. The only imperative is that you choose them freely and that you navigate by their light honestly. This is what it means to live a meaningful life. Not to find a meaning, but to commit to the meaning you create. Think now of the values that guide you toward rest. Peacefulness, stillness, trust, self-care. These are not just nice ideas. See them now as faint, glowing stars that you are consciously choosing to brighten in the sky of your mind. You are choosing to make peace your North Star for this journey into the night. You are not hoping to drift into a peaceful state. You are actively, freely, and powerfully navigating toward it, using the lights you yourself have created. Your journey is not random. It is purposeful, guided by the values you hold to be true. Chapter 8. The Depth of the Ocean. With this immense freedom to choose our own path and create our own values comes a feeling that the existentialists called anguish or dread. These words sound frightening, but they point to something profound. It is not the anxiety of being lost, but the awe-inspiring feeling of realizing just how much our choices matter. Imagine you are the captain of your ship, and you realize the ocean beneath you is miles deep. This feeling of depth is not necessarily fear. It is a profound recognition of the vastness of your reality. That is existential anguish. It is the feeling of the depth of your own freedom. It is the dizzying awareness that you and you alone are responsible for the person you become. There are no excuses. There is no one else to blame. But we can reframe this feeling. It is not dread. It is significance. The choices you make have weight precisely because the ocean is so deep. If you were sailing on a shallow pond, your choices wouldn't matter much. It is the vastness of your freedom that makes your commitment to your chosen stars so heroic, so meaningful. The quiet commitment to be a good person, a kind person, a peaceful person in a universe that does not demand it of you is the most significant act there is. Feel the depth of the ocean beneath you now. Do not fear it. Let it give your journey a sense of quiet gravity and importance. Your choice to rest, to find peace, is not a trivial thing. It is a meaningful act of creation in the face of a vast and silent universe. It is you choosing your own good. Chapter 9. The Leap of Trust. The first great existentialist, the philosopher Søren Kierkegaard, spoke of a leap of faith. For him, it was a leap into a religious life, a commitment made without proof or certainty. We can borrow his powerful idea for our own secular, peaceful voyage. We can practice a leap of trust. A leap of trust is required because there are no guarantees. The universe does not guarantee that your choices will lead to happiness. It does not promise that your life will be easy. You have created your stars, your values. You have chosen your direction. Now, you must trust the journey. You must take the leap of living by your chosen lights, even in the darkness of uncertainty. You must trust that a life guided by compassion will be a good life, even if it is sometimes difficult. You must trust that a life guided by integrity will be a meaningful life, even if it is not always rewarded. And here, tonight, you must make a final leap of trust. You must trust the process of rest. Your mind might want a guarantee. If I do this, will I fall asleep? The universe offers no such guarantee. So you must leap. You must let go of the need for certainty. You must trust your body's innate wisdom. You must trust the path of stillness you have chosen. You release your grip on control, and you leap into the quiet void of surrender. This is the final act of existential courage, to let go and trust. Chapter 10. Dropping Anchor for the Night. Our voyage across the vast starlit sea of existentialism is now coming to a close. We began in a place of profound silence, recognizing our freedom. We embraced our role as the author of our own lives, the happy Sisyphus finding meaning in our chosen tasks. We have felt the quiet weight, dignity of our choices and learned to live authentically, truths to our own inner compass. We have found peace in the solitude beyond the gaze of others. And now, guided by the stars we ourselves have lit, we have steered our ship into a calm, secluded cove, a place of rest we have chosen. It is time to drop anchor for the night. Hear the sound of the heavy anchor, your own intention for peace, sinking through the deep, quiet water. Hear the chain rattling out, letting go of the day, letting go of the struggle, and then feel the gentle final tug as the anchor finds the sandy bottom. The ship is secure. The journey for today is over. You have arrived. The ship floats gently in the calm water of the cove. It is safe. It is still. The only movement is the gentle rocking of the tide, like a slow and steady breath. You are not adrift. You are anchored in a piece of your own making. You have taken the awesome, frightening freedom of the open ocean and used it to find this place of perfect sanctuary. The water is perfectly still, reflecting the moon and the stars like a dark mirror. The sound of the crickets continues, a steady rhythmic pulse in the quiet air. In the distance, rising into the night sky, is a great, silent mountain. We are entering the landscape of Zen and mindfulness. Here, there are no complex theories to learn. There is no destination to strive for. There is only this moment, this breath. The goal is simply to wake up to the present reality, and in its simple, direct awareness, to find a peace that is profound and unshakable. Chapter 1. The Still Mountain. Imagine yourself as that great mountain. Your body resting here is the mountain's base, solid and settled upon the earth. Your spine is its strong, silent peak. Your head touches the cool night sky. The mountain sits in perfect stillness. It is completely, utterly present. The world moves around it. The sun rises and sets, casting light and shadow. Clouds gather and drift by. Rains fall, winds blow, and snow settles on its peak. Sometimes the weather is calm and beautiful. Sometimes it is wild and stormy. But through it all, the mountain remains unmoved. It does not complain about the storm. It does not cling to the sunshine. It does not try to hold on to the passing clouds. It simply sits, witnessing everything, allowing everything to be as it is. The mountain's strength is in its stillness. This is the first practice of Zen, to cultivate the mind of the mountain, to sit with your own inner weather, your thoughts, your feelings, your sensations, and to allow them to come and go without being disturbed. Oh, you are not the storm. You are not the clouds. You are the mountain that witnesses it all. A Zen master might say, do not seek the truth, only cease to cherish opinions. Cease to have an opinion about your own thoughts. Cease to judge them as good or bad. Simply let them be. In this radical act of allowing, you will find the deep, quiet strength of the mountain. Chapter 2. Just this breath. How do we learn to be still like the mountain? Where do we place our attention? The answer is beautifully simple. It is the anchor that is with you always, your breath. The practice of mindfulness begins and ends with the breath. It is the most honest, present, and reliable thing in your existence. You cannot breathe in the past. You cannot breathe in the future. You can only breathe now. Bring your attention gently to the sensation of your own breathing. There is no need to change it, to control it, or to improve it. Simply notice it. Notice the feeling of the cool air entering your nostrils. Notice the gentle rise of your chest and abdomen. Notice the pause at the top of the inhale. Notice the gentle fall of your chest as you exhale. Notice the feeling of the warm air leaving your body. That is all. This is the practice. When your mind wanders, as it will, do not be discouraged. This is not a failure. It is simply what minds do. The moment you notice your mind has wandered is a moment of perfect mindfulness, gently without judgment, like guiding a lost puppy. Just guide your attention back to the breath, again and again. A famous Zen saying goes, "The only time is now. The only place is here." The breath is the gate to the here and now. Each time you return your attention to the breath, you are stepping back into the present moment. You are coming home. With each inhale, you can feel your body grow calmer. With each exhale, you can release a little more tension. Breathing in, I am aware of my body. Breathing out, I calm my body. There is nothing else you need to do. Just rest your awareness on this simple, gentle rhythm. The anchor of the breath, the gateway to peace. Chapter 3. Watching the thoughts. The mind produces thoughts, just as the clouds are produced in the sky. It is their nature. We cannot simply command our thoughts to stop, any more than we can command the clouds to disappear. The practice of mindfulness does not try to stop the thoughts. It changes our relationship to them. Return to the image of yourself as the still mountain. Your thoughts and feelings are the clouds drifting through the sky above you. Some are white and puffy, Happy thoughts, pleasant memories. Some are dark and gray, worries, fears, sad thoughts. The practice is to simply watch them. You, the mountain, are not the clouds. You are the vast, open sky of awareness in which the clouds appear. A thought arises. Perhaps it is a memory from the day, a plan for tomorrow. Notice it. You can even label it very gently in your mind, thinking, or remembering, or planning. And then you let it go. You watch as it drifts by and eventually dissolves, just like a cloud. You do not grab onto it. You do not push it away. You do not follow it on its journey. You simply notice it, and then you return your attention to your anchor. You return to the breath. Another thought will come. You treat it with the same gentle, non-judgmental awareness. Notice it. Let it be. Let it go. Return to the breath. The Zen teacher Shunryu Suzuki spoke of the beginner's mind. He said, "In the beginner's mind there are many possibilities, but in the expert's mind there are few." Approach your thoughts with this beginner's mind. See each one as if for the first time, without a story attached, without judgment. You are creating a space between you and your thoughts. In this space, there is freedom. There is peace. The thoughts lose their power to disturb you, because you know they are not you. They are just weather. And you are the mountain. You are the sky. You are the stillness that holds it all. Chapter 4. The Sound of Silence. The breath is our primary anchor, but our awareness can extend to all our senses. Right now, let your awareness open up to the world of sound. There is no need to seek out sounds. Simply notice what is already here. Perhaps you can hear the steady, rhythmic chirping of the crickets. Perhaps the gentle hum of the building around you. Perhaps the sound of your own quiet breath. The practice is not to identify or label the sounds. It is not to think, that is a cricket, or that is a car passing in the distance. Instead, try to hear the sounds as pure sensation, as vibrations in the air, washing over you. Notice the texture of the sound. Is it sharp or soft? High or low? Constant or intermittent? Notice also the space between the sounds, the silence. Zen masters have long known that silence is not an absence of sound, but a presence in itself. It is the canvas upon which all sounds are painted. Can you hear the silence that holds the crickets? Let the sounds of the world wash through you, like wind through a mountain pass. You do not need to hold on to them. You do not need to push them away. They arise. They are present for a moment, and they fade away. Just like your thoughts, just like your breath. This practice of deep listening calms the mind, because it pulls you out of your own inner chatter and into the reality of the world as it is. It is a simple, direct path back to the present moment. There is nothing to figure out. There is only listening. Simply listen. Chapter 5. Chop wood, carry water. A common misconception is that mindfulness is something that can only be practiced while sitting still on a cushion with your eyes closed. The great insight of Zen is that any activity, no matter how mundane, can be a profound meditation if it is done with full awareness. There is a famous Zen proverb, "Before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water." This means that the goal is not to escape our ordinary lives, but to become fully present within them. Peace is not found in some distant monastery. It is found right here, in the simple tasks of your day. Imagine you are drinking a cup of tea. To drink it with mindfulness is to be fully present for the experience. You feel the warmth of the cup in your hands. You see the steam rising from the water. You smell the subtle fragrance of the tea leaves. You taste each sip fully. When you are drinking the tea, you are just drinking the tea. You are not also planning your afternoon or replaying a conversation from yesterday. You are simply there. This can be applied to anything: washing the dishes, walking down the street, brushing your teeth. Each moment is an opportunity to come home to yourself. This practice brings a quiet dignity to the small moments of our lives. It transforms chores into meditations. It reveals the extraordinary beauty hidden within the ordinary. You do not need to set aside special time to find peace. Peace is available in every moment, in every action. It is always waiting for you to pay attention. As you lie here, bring this mindful attention to the simple act of resting. Feel the texture of the sheets against your skin. Feel the weight of the blanket upon you. Feel the subtle sensations throughout your body. You are not just trying to sleep. You are engaged in the profound and sacred practice of resting. Be fully present for it. Chapter 6. Scanning the Body. Let us now use our gentle, non-judgmental awareness to take a journey through the body. This is a practice of deep listening, not to sounds, but to physical sensations. Bring your attention to the tips of your toes. You do not need to move them or wiggle them. Simply bring your awareness there. See if you can feel any sensation: warmth, coolness, tingling, pressure, or perhaps nothing at all. Whatever you find is perfectly fine. There is no right or wrong answer. Just notice, and as you breathe out, imagine letting go of any tension in your toes. Let them be soft. Now, slowly, like a gentle wave of warm light, let your awareness travel up into the soles of your feet. Notice the arches, the heels, just feeling, just noticing. Let the awareness flow up into your ankles, your calves, your shins, feeling the solidness of the bones, the softness of the muscle. With each exhale, you invite this part of your body to release and soften. Continue this gentle journey upwards. Bring your kind attention to your knees, your thighs, your hips. This whole lower part of your body has carried you through the day. Allow it to be heavy now. Allow it to rest completely. Give it your silent thanks and invite it to let go. Now, bring your awareness to your stomach and your lower back. This is an area where we often hold tension and worry. As you breathe in, be aware of any tightness. As you breathe out, gently invite it to soften, to release. Let the wave of awareness continue to flow upwards through your chest and your upper back, feeling the gentle rhythm of your heart beating, your lungs breathing, the quiet, steady life force within you. Bring your attention to your fingertips. Travel up through your hands, your wrists, your arms to your shoulders. Let your shoulders, which carry so much burden, drop away from your ears. Let them be heavy and relaxed. Finally, bring your awareness to your neck, your jaw, your face. We hold so much tension in the tiny muscles around our eyes and mouth. Let your jaw be slack. Let the space between your eyebrows be smooth and open. Let your whole face soften. Your entire body is now resting, held in a state of gentle, loving awareness. It is calm. It is peaceful. It is home. Chapter 7. the river of self. We have a deep habit of thinking of ourselves as a solid, unchanging thing, and my or me that is constant, like a stone. We work hard to protect this self, to define it, to defend its honor. Zen invites us to look closer at this idea of the self. Is it really so solid? Think of a river. A river has a name, a shape, a path. We can point to it and say, there is the river. But what is it really? The water in the river is changing from moment to moment. The banks are slowly shifting. The light on its surface is never the same. The river is not a thing, but a process, a constant, flowing, unfolding event. The Zen masters teach that you are like that river. You have a name and a shape, but you are not a fixed thing. Your body is changing with every breath. Your thoughts are flowing and changing. Your feelings are like the weather, constantly shifting. The you of this moment is different from the you of yesterday, or even a moment ago. There is no solid, unchanging self to find. There is only this process, this flow. This is not a frightening idea. It is a liberating one. When you realize you are not a fixed statue, but a flowing river, you are freed from the burden of being a certain way. You don't have to protect a fragile ego, because you see that the ego itself is just a temporary pattern, like a ripple on the water. A Zen poem might put it this way: the bamboo shadows are sweeping the stairs, but not a particle of dust is stirred. The moonlight is penetrating the bottom of the pool, but not a trace is left on the water. Your experiences, your thoughts, your feelings, they pass through you, but they do not need to leave a permanent stain on a solid self. You can let them come and go, like the flowing water. This is a profound piece. Chapter 8. A net of jewels. If the self is not a separate, solid thing, then what are we? Here, Zen offers a beautiful and shimmering image to help us understand. It is the image of Indra's net. Imagine a vast cosmic net that stretches to infinity in all directions. At every point where the threads of the net cross, there is a single perfectly clear shining jewel. The net is so vast that there are infinite jewels. Now, because each jewel is perfectly clear and polished, it reflects every other jewel in the net. And each of those reflections in turn contains the reflection of every other jewel. An infinite reflection within an infinite reflection. Each jewel represents a single being, a single moment, a single particle of dust. You are one of these jewels. Your existence is defined not by your separateness, but by your connection to everything else. You reflect everything in the universe, and everything in the universe reflects you. When a single jewel shines, its light touches every other jewel. The kindness you show to another person is not just a transaction between two separate beings. It is a shining that is reflected in the entire net. The peace you cultivate within yourself adds to the peace of the whole. This is the truth of interconnectedness. Nothing is truly separate. The breath you are breathing connects you to the air, to the trees, to the sky. The silence you are resting in connects you to the quiet of all things. Feel yourself as one of these jewels, not isolated, not alone, but an integral part of a vast, beautiful, and shimmering reality. Your existence is held and supported by everything else, and you, in turn, hold and support everything else just by being. There is a deep, quiet safety in this feeling of belonging to the whole. Chapter 9. Arriving home. And so, we come to the end of our journey in the landscape of Zen. We have sat as the still mountain and learned to let the weather of the world pass by. We have anchored ourselves to the simple, honest rhythm of the breath. We have watched our thoughts as clouds, practiced mindfulness in simple acts, and listened to the presence of silence. We have scanned our bodies with kind awareness and felt our sense of self soften from a hard stone into a flowing river. We have seen ourselves as a shining jewel in a cosmic net. Through all of these practices, the destination has always been the same. It is here, now. The great secret of Zen is that there is nowhere to go and nothing to achieve. Peace is not something you find at the end of a long journey. It is your fundamental nature. It is the ground you are already standing on. Enlightenment is simply waking up to where you already are. All the practices, all the meditations are just ways of gently clearing away the dust of distraction and thought that obscured this simple present reality. So now, let go of all practices. Let go of the mountain, the breath, the clouds. Let go of it all. Simply arrive in this moment. You are here. You are resting. You are safe. This is all there is, and it is enough. It is everything. A Zen master was once asked, "What is the path?" He replied, "Everyday life is the path. Rest is part of the path. Sleep is part of the path. Let yourself walk this part of the path completely. Arrive home in this moment. Arrive home in this stillness. Arrive home." The sound of the ocean remains, but it is now the sound of a quiet harbor. In the distance, the lights of a modern city glitter against the night sky. Our ship has docked. It is time to walk back into the world we know, but as a different traveler, one who carries the wisdom of the ages as a quiet lantern in their heart. Modern practical wisdom. Here, we will take the timeless tools we have gathered and learn to use them in the noisy, busy, and often overwhelming landscape of our daily lives. Chapter 1. The Inner Citadel in a Digital World. Let us begin with a device that is likely near you even now. The screen, the portal to an endless stream of information, emails, messages, and notifications. Each one a tiny digital knock on the door of your mind. This constant connectivity can be a primary source of modern anxiety. The feeling of being always on, always available, always behind. Here, we must return to the very first lesson from the Stoics. We must unsheathe that simple, powerful blade that divides the universe in two. What is up to us and what is not up to us. The number of emails in your inbox is not up to you. The opinions of strangers on social media are not up to you. The endless cycle of news and updates is not up to you. To try and control this infinite flow is to try and hold the sea in your hands. It is a guaranteed path to exhaustion. Your peace is found in the inner circle, the one thing you do control, your attention and your response. The Stoic, in the digital age, practices conscious disengagement. They set deliberate times to check their messages, and then they are fully present for that task. When that time is over, they mentally log out. They understand that most things can wait. The Epicurean from their hidden garden would also remind us to question our digital desires. Is this scrolling natural and necessary? Is it bringing you tranquility or a subtle low-grade agitation? They would advise us to drink deeply from the fountain of real-world connection with a friend, and only sip cautiously from the fountain of digital validation. So, as you rest now, give yourself this permission, the permission to be unavailable. The digital world can wait. Its endless demands are not your burden to carry tonight. Your inner citadel is closed for the night. The drawbridge is up. The only thing that matters now is the quiet stillness within its walls. Chapter 2. Finding the garden in the noise. Our lives are filled with noise. The sound of traffic, the chatter of an open office, the constant hum of appliances. It can feel as though there is no space for silence, no sanctuary for the mind. But the Epicurean did not build his garden in a remote wilderness. He built it in Athens, a busy city. His peace was a choice, a small, walled-off space of intention. We can learn to create tiny, portable gardens of tranquility in our own day. Think of your lunch break. For many, this is a time to scroll through a phone while eating quickly. It is a continuation of the day's distraction. What if, just once a week, you treated it as a visit to the garden? You find a quiet corner, perhaps a park bench, or even a quiet corner of the office. You put your phone away. You eat your simple meal with the full mindful attention of a Zen master. You taste your food. You watch the people or the trees. You simply exist, without demand, for 15 minutes. This is a microdose of Epicurean peace. A cup of coffee in the morning can be a frantic gulp of fuel, or it can be a 5-minute Zen meditation. Feel the warmth of the mug. Inhale the aroma. Taste it fully. Just for those 5 minutes. Do nothing else. These are the small hidden gardens you can cultivate. They do not require you to change your life dramatically. They only require you to change your attention. These moments are acts of gentle rebellion against the tyranny of busyness. They are a declaration that your inner peace is more important than constant productivity. Find these small pockets of stillness. They are everywhere, waiting for you to notice them. Chapter 3. Flowing through the traffic jam. Few things represent modern frustration so perfectly as the traffic jam. A line of metal boxes, all wanting to be somewhere else, all stuck. It is a perfect recipe for anger, stress, and a feeling of powerlessness. Here, the Taoist sage, watching from the misty mountains, offers a gentle smile and reminds us of the wisdom of water. Your anger, your frustration, your clenched jaw. This is you, trying to push the river. You are fighting a reality you cannot change. The traffic will not move faster because of your anger. You are only disturbing your own peace. So what does the Taoist do? They practice Wu Wei. They stop fighting. This does not mean you become passive and give up. It means you accept the reality of the situation. I am in traffic. It is not moving. And then you find the most effortless way to exist within it. You see this moment not as a blockage, but as an unexpected pause, an opportunity. Perhaps it is an opportunity to listen to a piece of music you love and to really hear it. Perhaps it is a chance to simply notice your breath, a Zen practice and in the midst of the chaos. Perhaps it is a moment to look around and notice the sky, the faces of other drivers, the simple fact of being alive in this strange modern world. The Stoic, sitting in the car beside you, would agree. They would practice amor fati, a love of this fate. So, this is what is happening now, a traffic jam. How can I use this moment to practice virtue? How can I use it to practice patience? By changing your inner response, the external situation loses its power over you. The traffic jam ceases to be a source of suffering. It becomes a quiet, unexpected opportunity for practice. You are no longer stuck in traffic. You are simply sitting in your car, breathing, listening, and being at peace. You are flowing with what is. Chapter 4. Navigating the News. We live in an age of infinite information. The news of the world, with all its turmoil, tragedy, and conflict, is available at all times. It can feel overwhelming, creating a sense of helplessness and chronic, low-grade anxiety. How do we stay informed without losing our inner peace? Here, we must call upon the Stoic practice of the view from above. When you feel overwhelmed by a particular headline or a specific crisis, allow your mind to perform that gentle zoom out we practiced. Rise above your screen, above your room, above your city. See the vast, silent turning of the planet. This is not an act of detachment to make you apathetic or uncaring. It is an act of perspective to keep you sane. From this cosmic vantage point, you can see that history is filled with turmoil, with rising and falling empires, with struggle and with peace. The current moment, as intense as it feels, is part of this vast unfolding pattern. This perspective prevents your mind from being completely hijacked by the crisis of the hour. Then, bring your awareness back down and apply the dichotomy of control. You cannot single-handedly solve a global conflict. You cannot change the course of a natural disaster. These things aren't up to you. To fixate on them with a feeling of personal responsibility is to guarantee your own suffering. What is up to you? Your own actions, right here where you are. You can choose to be a source of peace in your own home. You can practice kindness with your neighbors. You can donate to a cause you believe in. You can choose not to spread outrage and anger online, but to cultivate understanding. Focus your energy on your own small, sacred garden, as the Epicurean would advise. Tend to what you can actually influence. In this, you will find not the anxiety of helplessness, but the quiet, dignified purpose of doing what you can, where you are, with what you have. Chapter 5. The Empty Boat in a Difficult Conversation. Think of a difficult person in your life. A colleague who is often critical. A family member who knows how to push your buttons. An interaction that you dread. In these moments, our peace can feel most fragile. We get defensive, angry, hurt. We take it personally. Let us invite the Taoist sage Chuang Tzu to sit with us in these moments. He would remind us of his parable of the empty boat. If you are crossing a river and an empty boat bumps into yours, you do not get angry. You simply push it aside. But if there is a man in the boat, you shout and rage. The man in the boat is the problem. Chuang Tzu's advice is to empty your own boat. But we can also use this wisdom to see that the other person's boat is often empty too. The critical colleague is not truly aiming their criticism at you. They are a vessel filled with their own insecurities, their own bad day, their own fears. Their harsh words are not a reflection of your worth. They are a reflection of their own inner state. Their boat is bumping into yours, but there is no one steering it with calm, conscious intention. It is drifting on the currents of their own and unexamined emotions. If you can see this, you don't have to take the collision personally. You don't have to get angry. You can see their words, their anger, their negativity as an empty boat. You can skillfully and calmly push it aside without letting it capsize your own tranquility. The Zen practitioner would add to this. Notice the feeling that arises in you. Feel the flush of anger, the knot of defensiveness in your stomach. Observe it as you would observe a cloud passing in the sky. It is just a feeling. It is not you. You do not have to act on it. By seeing the other person as an empty boat and observing your own reaction as a passing cloud, you can navigate the most difficult conversations with a quiet, unshakable peace. You remain the calm water, allowing the boats to pass without being disturbed. Chapter 6. The Gym of the Soul. In our modern world, we understand the importance of physical exercise. We go to the gym to strengthen our bodies, to build resilience and health. The ancient philosophers saw the mind in the same way. It is a muscle that must be exercised to become strong and flexible. The practices we have learned are not just ideas. They are workouts for the soul. Think of the Stoic practice of voluntary discomfort. This is the equivalent of lifting weights for your resilience. You don't have to sleep on a hard floor like Seneca, but you can choose to take a cold shower instead of a hot one. You can choose to fast from social media for a day. You can choose to walk instead of drive. By deliberately choosing a small, safe discomfort, you ask yourself Seneca's question, is this what I feared? You teach your mind that you can handle more than you think. You build your tolerance for life's inevitable hardships. Think of the practice of negative visualization. This is stretching your gratitude muscle. By briefly imagining the absence of a comfort, your warm bed, your morning coffee, a loved one, you stretch your capacity to appreciate them when they are present. And think of the existentialist practice of choosing your values. This is like designing your own workout plan. What virtues do you want to strengthen? Patience? Kindness? Courage? You can design workouts for them. If you want to train patience, you can deliberately choose the longest line at the grocery store and use that time to practice your breathing. If you want to train kindness, you can make it a goal to give one sincere, unexpected compliment each day. Your life becomes a gymnasium for your spirit. Every challenge, every frustration, every interaction is a piece of equipment you can use to become stronger, more peaceful, and more aligned with the person you have freely chosen to be. Chapter 7. The Myth of the Empty Calendar. Our modern culture often worships at the altar of busyness. We can feel that every moment of our day must be filled, optimized, and productive. An empty space in our calendar can feel like a failure. We equate rest with laziness. This constant pressure to do is a powerful enemy of sleep. The mind doesn't know how to switch off because it has been taught that to be still is to be useless. The Taoist masters would gently shake their heads at this idea. They would remind us of the usefulness of what is not there. The empty space in the bowl is what holds the nourishment. The empty space in the hub is what allows the wheel to turn. Your rest, your quiet moments, your empty time. This is not wasted time. This is the crucial, useful emptiness that allows the rest of your life to function. It is the space where your mind heals, where your creativity is born, where your spirit recharges. A day filled to the brim with activity is like a bowl that is already full. It cannot receive anything new. The Zen masters would agree. They would remind us that the quality of our action matters more than the quantity. It is better to do one simple task with full, mindful presence than to rush through 10 tasks with a scattered, anxious mind. So let go of the guilt of rest. See this time right now, not as an absence of productivity, but as a different, quieter, and more profound kind of productivity. You are producing peace. You are cultivating stillness. You are generating the energy you will need for a new day. This is among the most important work you will ever do. Chapter 8. The Quiet Relief of Good Enough. From the brand of coffee we buy, to the show we watch, to the career path we follow, modern life presents us with an overwhelming number of choices. This is often called the paradox of choice. While we want freedom, too much choice can lead to paralysis and a constant fear that we are making the wrong decision. This decision fatigue is exhausting. Here, the wisdom of the Epicurean garden is a soothing balm. Remember the 3 fountains of desire. So many of our modern choices are in that third category, neither natural nor necessary. They are manufactured desires that promise happiness, but often deliver only more anxiety. The Epicurean path is one of radical simplification. When faced with a dozen choices, ask the simple question, what is the natural and necessary option here? What is the simplest path to tranquility? Often, the answer is to choose what is good enough. You do not need to research for hours to find the absolute best pair of shoes or the perfect vacation spot. This search for perfection is a trap of the anxious mind. Choose a good pair of shoes and then enjoy walking in them. Choose a good vacation spot and then enjoy being there. The Stoic would add that the only choice that truly matters is the choice to act with virtue. The brand of your coffee is a matter of indifference. The kindness with which you speak to the barista, that is what matters. Focus your energy on the choices that shape your character, and let the trivial ones be made simply and without stress. Give yourself permission to accept good enough. It is a quiet, profound relief. It frees up enormous mental energy that can be used for what truly matters, living peacefully, being kind, and resting well. Chapter 9. The Lantern for the Path. And so, our journey through these ancient schools of thought and their application in our modern world comes to a close. We began in a Stoic citadel, learning to build an inner fortress of resilience. We walked through an Epicurean garden, learning to cultivate tranquility and simple joys. We followed the Taoist river, learning to flow with life and let go of struggle. We sat as the Zen mountain, learning to be still and present in the here and now. We navigated the vast existentialist sea, learning to create our own meaning and chart our own course. And now, we have walked back into the familiar streets of our own lives. But you are not the same traveler who began this journey. You are carrying a lantern, and in this lantern is the collected light of all this wisdom. It is the strong, steady flame of Stoic virtue. It is the warm, gentle glow of Epicurean contentment. It is the soft, flowing light of Taoist harmony. It is the clear, direct beam of Zen awareness. And it is the self-created starlight of existentialist freedom. This lantern does not banish the darkness of the world. It does not eliminate challenges or remove all pain. That is not its purpose. Its purpose is to illuminate the path directly in front of you, so you can take the next step with wisdom, with peace, and with courage. You have the tools. You have the knowledge. You have everything you need to navigate your life with a quiet mind and a peaceful heart. The wisdom is now part of you. Let the light of this lantern now soften. Let it become the gentle, low light of a bedside lamp. Its work for the day is done. The path has led you here, to this place of rest. It is time to set the lantern down and to trust the friendly darkness of the night. Of course, let us write the final words of our journey together. The journey is complete. The lantern is set down. The mind is quiet. There is nothing left to learn, nothing left to do. All that remains is to be here now, in this place of perfect rest. Bring your awareness home, for one final time, to the simple, honest reality of your body. Feel the weight of your feet and legs. They are your foundation, strong and steady, like the stones of the citadel we built so long ago. Let them be heavy. Let them be still. Bring your attention to your torso, your stomach and your chest. Feel the gentle rise and fall with each breath. A deep, quiet contentment resides here, like the peace of a hidden garden after a gentle rain. There is no striving. There is no lack. All is well. Feel your arms and your hands. Let them be soft, open, and yielding, releasing all control. They are like water, flowing effortlessly into a state of perfect repose. There is no tension here, only flow. Bring your awareness to your head. It rests upon the pillow, still and silent. It is the mountain peak, present and aware, under a vast, quiet sky. It has witnessed the day, and now it witnesses the deep stillness of the night. Your entire being is now a quiet vessel floating on a calm, dark sea. You have dropped anchor in a peaceful cove of your own choosing. You are safe. You are secure. The sound of water begins to slowly, almost imperceptibly, fade out. Let the edges of your awareness soften now. Let the words themselves begin to dissolve. Heavy body, quiet mind, gentle breath, drifting, sinking now, into warmth, into softness, into peace. There is only this gentle, easy stillness. You have arrived. Let go. Sleep now. Sleep.